So basically, I'm excited because I have some news. I am no longer a vegetarian. I've been a vegetarian for about a year, and I am Hispanic, like I've said. So we just eat meat. So it was really hard to transition. But yeah, there's actually a video. Sorry, that was my air freshener. I need to turn that off. But there was a video of me eating my first like hot wing, because that's like the first meal I wanted. So yeah. Hey, this is Bri. Welcome back to the 4th week of Bri Honestly, College Edition. And I'm kind of liking this new setup. I don't know what you guys think. Tell me about. Okay, so we have a very, very special guest today. And I'm very excited because this person means the world to me. She's my best friend. And I'm sure you know who it is because everyone else is quarantining. But it's my mom, and we are basically going to talk about some pretty deep, heavy stuff, but I think she has some interesting stories. Oh my gosh, my set's falling apart. And I'm very excited to bring her on, and basically this episode is entitled, What Are You? Like, what are you mixed with, basically. Surprise! So this is my mom. I'll let her introduce herself really quickly.
Hey guys, I'm Mom, known to Bri, but my name is Dolores. And I am a producer, film producer, TV producer. I don't know why we did that, but we did. You can see where she gets her quirkiness. It's from me. Yes, you got it.
So yes, she's weird, I'm weird, we're both weird, and basically what this episode is about is basically a lot of the times people will come up to me and they'll ask like, what are you? Like, what are you mixed with? And I'm like, what? Like, why does it matter? It's really, I think it's stupid, and I'm gonna use that word. So today we're just gonna explore like how we've experienced racism in our schools, and I'm gonna, this is Bri Honestly, the college edition, so I'm gonna bring it back to experiencing racism on a PWI, which is my school, William & Mary. I love William & Mary, but racism exists, and you gotta call it out when you see it. So yeah, so I'm gonna just start by it's true. So I'm just gonna start by letting my mom tell us her experience with racism.
So my experience, really, I was born in the Dominican Republic, and I was raised in New York, in the Bronx. And when I lived in the Bronx, I did not know what racism was. Literally, that, to me, everybody was the same. But when I moved to Virginia, which I was about 17 years old, I went to high school in Virginia, and someone came up to me. It was an African-American person, and they came up to me and they were like, thinking that I was black, I was African-American. And I was like, when I opened my mouth, they looked at me like, wait, what are you? And I was like, I'm Hispanic, I'm from Dominican Republic. And they just didn't understand it because, of course, the color of my skin, my hair, they expect another culture to be like completely, maybe I should have had blonde hair, which I have now, blue eyes, whiter or something. And so they didn't expect that response. And I had to like explain what that was. But what threw them off was when I, opened my mouth, because obviously I don't sound.
She's very, very Hispanic.
I'm very, very Hispanic.
Very Hispanic.
I'm not. But back then I was even more, because I had a New York accent coming fresh off the boat, so to say, from New York.
She's a citizen now, guys.
I am a citizen now. Woohoo! I'm legal.
When did you become a citizen? Like
2 years ago.
Yeah.
It'll be 2 years officially by the end of this year, because I got to vote.
We're so proud of her.
Yes.
We won't talk about her political ideologies because. But anyway, this is not political. We won't talk about political. Yeah. So basically, where this episode kind of stemmed from was I was talking to my friends over FaceTime. Shout out to Grant and Jack. And we were talking about the U.S. Census, and I don't know if you know, I think I told you as well, but if you are an Egyptian, okay, in America, you have to put that you are white. And I think we have to also put that we're white. But we're not white. Like, not even an Egyptian is white. Like, that's so crazy. So,
and I've been to Egypt, and they are not white.
Exactly.
They look like me. Actually, they thought that I was Queen. I look like Queen Nititivi. How you say that? That's my Nititivi or Nitiv something. Brianna will find it, and she'll write it underneath for y'all, because it's hilarious. I can't even say it. But she, same complexion and all that, looks just like us. So I don't get that.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'll go into why that is stupid later, but I just want to explain, like, my experience on campus at William & Mary. And, if you're at college and you have the same stories, send them in. I want to hear them, too, and we can talk about it. It's not to trash our schools, because I just want to reiterate that. It's not about trashing our schools. It's about making sure that we stand up for, just a greater country that doesn't have to be founded on racism or microaggressions or thinking that you have to look a certain way in order to come from a certain background. Because at the end of the day, we're all 99% related. So it really doesn't matter. But we'll get into that.
You sounded a little bit New Yorker when you said that. 99% related.
I don't know. My mom is from New York. I don't think I do. Anyway, so my experience is pretty cool. I won't name names, but so last semester I had a professor who was at the college, who has been at the college for 50 years. That's a long time. He's old. He's a nice guy, so there's nothing like wrong with him. He's kind. He's a great professor. He's very intelligent. So I'm not attacking his kindness or his ability to be a professor at all. But I am attacking that we all have microaggressions and we don't even realize it. And you can be person of minority, or you can be white and still be prejudiced, So basically, with that being said, he always put things on Blackboard, and Blackboard's like a site where, like they upload assignments and stuff. So I had to do readings, and it wasn't working for me. So I emailed him and I was like, hey, like this is not working. I don't know if it's like my site or yours. I tried refreshing. I tried doing a bunch of things. I tried, turning off the computer. The obvious things that young people know how to do. We're pretty good with technology, I think.
I know how to do it too, so I must be young.
So anyway, I emailed him and he was like, oh, it's your computer. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I was like, I messaged him back. By the way, I messaged him really politely. I was like, Professor blah blah, and typed it up so nicely. Best Brianna. I was very nice. And he just sent back like, it's your computer. And I was like, But I didn't think anything of it, okay? So we're messaging back and forth, and I'm like, it's still not working. And he was like, did you try turning off your computer? Yeah, I tried turning off my computer. Like, obviously that's the first thing I would do. And I still couldn't download this file that I needed to get or open it up. It wouldn't work. And I messaged him. I was like, can you just send it to me through email? And he was like, no. And I was like, oh my gosh, still didn't think anything of it. And I finally texted a classmate and I was like, can you just send me this link? Is it working for you? She didn't text back. People take forever to text back, me, myself included. Whatever, you take a long time too. So basically, I I was like, you know what, it's fine. Thank you so much for your time. Really, I was like, you helped me not, and I really dislike you, but whatever. I disliked him as a professor in that moment, not as a white man, not as a privileged white man, I'll say. And so, not thinking anything of it, I ended up fixing it over the weekend because I'm just so intelligent. And I basically got into class the next week, and he gives out papers that we already did from the previous week before class starts. And he was handing me a paper. I kid you not, I have a paper right here. So, hand me this paper. So he handed me this paper, and I tried to grab it, and he wouldn't let go. Okay? And he was like, did you figure out the problem? I was like, what? Did I? Yes, and I was like, yes, sir, I did. And I just want you to know, I know for 100% fact that was something he did because he is a white man, a privileged white man, and that was a microaggression, for sure, because I'd also like to point out that in that classroom, I think I was like one of 3 who were of color and the only one who was Hispanic. And I'm, again, I'm not trying to call his character out. Well, I am, I guess. But I know, I'm trying to be so, like, politically correct with this, but I'm just gonna say it. I know that that was an attack on me because of what I look like. There are not a lot of kids in that class that look like me, and I'm sure that he's been around people of color, but it's one thing to accept people, and it's another to just, tolerate people. So, yeah, that's my story with William and Mary on the campus, and I have many, many, many others. But what I was going to is, cool story, he was actually there when the first black student was admitted. So, older people for some reason have a harder time, I don't know, not showing their racist roots, if that makes sense. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but, it's true. Yeah. But do you have anything?
Yeah, I was just going to say that just listening to your story and like I said in my example earlier that I mentioned, I was basically raised in New York for a short time. And what I experienced from there to here, and also traveling different places, that it's predominantly something that occurs more here, meaning in the south part. So I would say that it may not just be William and Mary per se, but just Virginia, period, area. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people in the South who have experienced that, and it really just depends on your area. So, my college, I mean, I didn't know that it was so white because, on the website, it was, there was pictures of, diverse group of kids, and when I went and toured, I kind of just was blindsided, and I didn't think about that. But I would recommend if you are going to a college or you're about to go to college or whatever, it's really important to understand those things. Maybe you want to go somewhere where it's not very diverse, and by all means do you. But yeah, I remember one time in high school too, I'm just thinking about it. There was a kid who told me that I was black and I couldn't be Hispanic, at all. And I was like, okay, what? My mom speaks Spanish, my cousins speak Spanish, my uncles, my aunts, my whole entire family is Hispanic. I can trace our roots back. But even then, it doesn't really matter, because maybe I am black, maybe I'm not. But I know my culture, and it doesn't need to be defined because some white boy told me that I can't be Hispanic. I need to be black because the color of my skin is dark. What? Are we just white and black? No, we are just people. We are just who we are. And that is the topic of part 2. I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm gonna cut it and join us next week for part 2. My mama will be here again. But yeah, thank you so much, Mommy.
You're welcome.
Bye, guys.
Bye.